Today I'm going to show you how you can take your Sundew seeds and packetize them with a way that doesn't need any tape. It's pretty quick and easy. And basically, once you have a bunch of Sundew seeds that are ripe, it can take a bit of time, but you can just take the flower stalk when they're ripe like this and they're turning brown, and the seeds are all desiccated and ready to harvest. Then you can take a bunch of paper, you can cut it into these type of squares, which you can just fold in half in a group, kind of like this, so that they form a triangle. And then if you have a bunch of these seeds, like on this stalk, there's quite a few, and you're doing this fast, you can just fill it up and place it there, take another one, fill it up, place it here, and then once you're done filling all the packets with seed, then you can fold them and label them individually. But for now I'm just going to show you how to do one at a time, just for demonstration purposes. So I just use recycled paper. I try to find one that's not as covered with writing. But basically, you have your little triangle, or your triangle that you folded, and in the crease you're going to dump your seeds. So I'm going to take this stalk right here, since it's ready to be collected, the seeds from. So I'm going to hold it with my other hands. It's going to be kind of tricky with my camera in my hand. But you can just hold it steady, and then you can just clip the flower stalk below, like so. And then you can bring it down to your packet and set it down so that you don't lose any seeds. And there you have it. So sometimes I even, if I'm letting my flower stalks dry out, I just leave them like that. And the seeds will eventually dry and fall out on their own. For some of these seeds, all you really need to do is dump them upside down and the seed will fall out. In this case, nothing is coming out, so what you do is just gently squeeze the back side of the flower like this, and sometimes you may have to pull out, see a little sort of dried flower petals in that particular flower, and you can just remove that. That'll allow the seeds to fall out freely when you're kind of coaxing them out with this method of rolling them between your fingers. And you might be able to see, hopefully, that some seeds are coming out, the little black specks. These aren't as large as I normally would like to see them, but they should still be pretty viable. But I'll do this one too here. Hopefully more will come out. So yeah, there you can see that some are falling out, and you can just keep coaxing them like that. When they're really dry, you'll actually just be able to dump them out from the flower directly, but these are probably just a hair early that I'm harvesting them. And you can get a bunch of sort of chaff along the way, but you can either blow this away, or you can use a strainer of some sort, like a wire mesh sort of strainer. I have one, but I misplaced it, so for now I'm just going to kind of blow or I guess you can just pick the larger chaff away with your finger, leaving the rest of the seed. It's kind of annoying to get chaff when you're sowing your seeds, but it's not going to hurt anything really. So once you've done that, then we're going to begin the folding process. So you have your seeds down there. You can actually fold the packet up so that the seeds kind of settle to the middle of the packet like this. So there they are in the center. Then what you're going to do is you're going to just fold down that triangle and then pull it up, and this is where you make the crease. You're going to make the crease right about at this line here, or so. You can make it a bit larger or higher than that on the packet. So we're just going to fold it that crease, and then what I like to do is fold in the edges of the packet. I'm going to flip it around quick. And you just can fold in these little edges so that the seeds don't slide out of the packet while they're in transit. And then you can just fold over once more like that, so that it sort of shortens the height of the packet. This is the part where you're going to actually not need any tape, because we're going to make a little slit for this upper part to fold into, kind of like an envelope. So there you can see that I folded it at this hinge, at this edge here, like that, and about halfway across the packet. And then you can just take that other arm like this and fold it over and send it right into that there's a little gap inside the packet here. You can just push that down, and then you can have something like this. I hope the video is showing this fairly well. But the two arms of the packet are then overlapping in there. Basically, I don't know if I specified this very well, but there's a little gap in this first arm that you've folded over, and you want to put this arm right in that gap so that it slides right in there like that, and that just kind of locks it in. And then for the last step, you just fold it over, and then you just are left with this little lip of the sort of envelope looking object. And there's a little gap that you've made by folding over those two arms. There's a gap here now, and you can just put this lip thing right into that and just shove it down there, and then you can kind of either rock it back and forth to make sure it's secure, and that is your packet. And then for the final step, you're just going to want to label in detail what is inside. So this is a really bad angle for me to do this while holding the camera, but basically it's Drosera species. Okay, you can't see this, but and just make sure it's labeled. This is really sloppy because I can't see what I'm doing. That's the name, and then you want to say about how many seeds are in there so you can keep track of all these, and I'll just say 50, and then write the date that you collected them, because that helps you keep track in the future. If you're like, how old is this packet? The seeds that are older may not be as viable, so the date will help to sort of help you remember how viable the seeds may be. But if you store these then in the refrigerator at around 4 degrees Celsius, which is approximately, I don't know the math exact, 42 degrees maybe, or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that will help the seeds stay as viable as long as possible. And besides that though, you can then, once you have a bunch of these packets, you can send them out to other growers around your country, and if you have a permit, then you can actually send these overseas after you file the proper documentation. I unfortunately don't have a permit, but I will. I'll plan to get one in the near future here once I have more time on my hands. So after you do this for a while, eventually you can kind of whip through them. I'm just going to show you a few packets here so I can demonstrate this for you. This is a fun activity you can challenge your friends to, your carnivorous plant friends. You can have packet races. It's fun for the whole family, really. So after you've kind of made a lot of these, then I normally put them in a breathable or an open plastic bag, or one of those paper seed packet holders, and you can label them with the species that you're storing. Kind of put all the packets inside like that, and then once you have your species label in the back, then you can just sort these in a container, like a seed box or something like that, in the fridge, and they're good to go for up to like 11 years in the case of a few tuberous sundews. But generally you want to use them up within a year or two, just to make sure that they're all viable still, and that the next person to grow them won't have problems germinating them. So I hope that helps sort of explain it. Sorry for the long video, but yeah, once you have a large collection like this, you can pretty much have flowers all the time if you feed your plants regularly, and it's kind of a lot of time that you can devote to just collecting seeds alone, but it's definitely worth it when you can help other growers get these seeds and spread sundews around. So I hope that helps explain it, and happy collecting. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.